Step 1 for setting up your RV is going to be backing it up into place, and then we're going to go ahead and take the lock off and pull this backwards. Next up is going to be raising the RV up off of the truck. Unless you're on concrete and just can't fit it, you want to use the wood block. We standardly keep our stem kind of short. You can adjust that at the stem where there's a little piece to pull out, and you can make it longer. I recommend keeping it kind of the standard shorter element so you don't have to worry about it having more leeway. It's just safer that way, but sometimes it's inevitable that you're gonna have to pull that little stem and then adjust it. Pull your truck out after you get it above the height. Occasionally it takes a jump on the bumper to disconnect the two of them. Obviously this is after disconnecting the safety wire, the chains, and the electrical. You absolutely do not want to have your electricity charging from your truck and from the RV park at the same time, because that can be detrimental to your RV, so be sure not to do that. We're going to go ahead and grab our hose out of the same compartment the level was in, as well as the water pressure regulator. You want to have this because you can literally bust out your plumbing if the park you have has too high of water pressure. So this prevents that problem and makes sure that it only pushes in how much the RV can handle. Now you want to level out your RV. We keep the level in our storage compartment underneath the RV, so the big storage container where you can come access it from the outside. Now you're going to lower your back stabilizers. Keep in mind, the moment you see it start to lift up on the RV, you are far enough. These do break kind of easy if you're not gentle with them, so don't just keep cranking down on that because you're going to have a big problem. Now you're going to do your front stabilizer. Push this down and put your lock back on so no one steals your RV. You want to unlock the door and open it all the way so that when your ladder comes down it doesn't hurt the door, so just open it wide. When you rotate the locking mechanism to the side, that's how it unlocks from its stable position, and then lower this down. It's time to push your slide out. Once it makes a clicking noise, that means it's out all the way, so you just let it go after that. You are now going to release the pressure out of your hot water heater. Basically, you're just going to grab the release valve, pull it, and it'll first release air and then eventually water, since your water's running. So you'll see once the water's shooting out your square. Now I'm going to turn on one of my propane tanks, and whichever direction the arrow in the center between the two tanks is pointed, that's the tank it's accessing. Time to turn on the hot water heater. Now you're going to turn on your air conditioning. I personally like to vent it out to where it's going through the main vent before I distribute it through the place if it's kind of hot out, so it can cool down as fast as possible, and then I'll turn it to the room vents. On my RV, you want to hold the outside edge because for some reason that little vent thing likes to fly out at you. Here's how you operate your awning to get it out or in. You want to only have your awning out when you're using it. I don't recommend leaving it out because if the miles per hour of the wind are like anything higher than like 10 or 15, it can definitely bust the awning up. Let's get the fridge turned on. If it's cold outside rather than hot outside, go ahead and get your heater on, and I've got a separate video explaining how this heater operates to get it to the perfect temperature. The main lights are on the control panel, and then all the other lights are push button, except the bathroom, which does have its own switch. There's a switch on the control panel which operates the LEDs on the awning. The rest of the panel is checking your levels. I would argue the most important part is your black water. Most spots allow your gray water to be open, so we open those up so we don't have to sweat that one. So for that, you just need to remove the cap off of the water, and then you're going to open up the gray water like so. You are all set.